Did you know airlines often make more money from fees than from ticket sales? In fact, U.S. airlines made over $6 billion in baggage fees alone in 2019. Crazy, right? But here's the real kicker. Many travelers are paying these fees without realizing there are ways to avoid them. In this video, we're going to reveal 6 airline policies that most people don't know about, but absolutely should. From getting free seat upgrades to scoring extra baggage allowance, we're diving into strategies that could save you time, money, and frustration. So next time you're booking a flight or standing in line at the gate, you'll be armed with the insider knowledge you need to make the most of your trip. Stick around, because these tips will change the way you travel. Chapter 1. The secret of hidden seat upgrades. When we think of seat upgrades, we usually picture paying extra for first class. But there's a little-known strategy that could get you bumped up for free. Believe it or not, airlines sometimes give away seat upgrades to passengers without them even asking. It's not a common occurrence, but if you know the right tricks, your chances increase. The best time to request an upgrade? When the flight is not fully booked. Many airlines prioritize filling premium seats before the flight takes off. You don't have to make it obvious either. Sometimes, all it takes is arriving early or checking in online a few hours before your flight. Airlines may offer you a chance to upgrade at a discounted price, and often they'll present the option when you check in or at the gate. But here's the best part. If they still have available premium seats close to departure, they may just offer them to you for free. Be polite, friendly, and ask if any upgrades are available. If the gate agent feels it's worth their while, they might surprise you with a free upgrade. Another cool trick? Join the airline's loyalty program. Frequent flyers have a higher chance of snagging an upgrade, even if they're not the highest tier members. According to research from Skyscanner, loyalty members are 7 times more likely to get a complimentary upgrade. So, if you fly often, it pays to sign up. Even better, if you're flying solo, you're more likely to be given a better seat than if you're part of a group. Remember that it's all about timing. If you're traveling on a less busy day, such as a Tuesday or Wednesday, your chances increase because airlines tend to have fewer passengers. If you're flying on a weekend or during peak times, though, be prepared to pay extra for the upgrade. Chapter 2. Carry-on drama. The wait you didn't know you could avoid. One of the most stressful moments at the airport is when you're standing at the check-in counter, watching the agent weigh your carry-on bag. But here's something you might not know. You don't have to stuff everything into a tiny carry-on and risk the weight limit. There are certain strategies to carry more and avoid extra fees. First off, use a soft-sided bag. Airlines measure carry-ons by size, not just weight. A soft bag can be squished and adjusted to fit in the overhead compartment, whereas hard-sided suitcases tend to stick to their shape. So, if your bag looks like it's overflowing, try to gently compress it. Next, choose airlines that are more lenient with their weight limits. Some airlines like JetBlue and Southwest allow carry-ons up to 40 pounds, while others have stricter rules. You might think your bag is over the limit, but airlines often don't weigh carry-ons unless they appear suspiciously heavy. If you keep your bag looking compact, you can sometimes slide under the radar. Another interesting tip is to wear your heaviest items. Put on that thick sweater or jacket before you board, and you can reduce the weight of your carry-on. When you're at the airport security, make sure to take advantage of the free space in your pockets to hold your heavier items. This way, your carry-on can stay light, and you won't risk extra baggage fees. Also, keep in mind that some airlines offer priority boarding for an extra fee. But here's the secret. Some low-cost carriers offer this perk for free if you're a frequent flyer or if you book an early morning flight. This can give you extra time to store your bag in the overhead bin before the rush. Lastly, check if your airline allows personal items, such as a purse or small backpack, to be carried along with your carry-on. These often don't count toward your carry-on weight, which means you could carry even more. Chapter 3. Compensation Goldmine. Free vouchers for delays and cancellations. One of the best-kept secrets in the airline world is how much you're entitled to when your flight is delayed or canceled. According to the U.S. Department of Transportation, airlines are required to provide compensation in the event of significant delays, and yet many travelers are unaware of this. In the case of a long delay, airlines can provide meal vouchers, hotel stays, and even reimbursements for taxis or other transportation. If your flight is delayed for more than 3 hours or canceled, you're legally entitled to some form of compensation. However, this often depends on the airline's policies, and many customers miss out because they don't know their rights. Here's a strategy you can use. Always ask for a voucher or reimbursement. Don't wait for the airline to offer it to you. If you're stranded for hours, speak up. Airlines would rather give you a voucher than deal with complaints. Be polite and firm about your rights, and don't be afraid to ask for a hotel room or food vouchers. One customer, in a survey conducted by AirHelp, managed to secure a $300 voucher for a flight delayed by just under 4 hours. But don't think this only applies to long delays. Even if your flight is canceled for weather-related reasons, you might still be entitled to compensation depending on your situation. For instance, if you're offered a rebooked flight several hours later, you can request a voucher to make up for the inconvenience. Airlines are often required to give compensation in cash or travel vouchers for major disruptions, so don't miss the opportunity. Here's another insider tip: travel insurance. While not always necessary, travel insurance can help you avoid the hassle of fighting for compensation. Some credit card companies offer free travel insurance when you use their cards to book flights. This can make it easier to claim compensation for delays or cancellations, especially if the airline is uncooperative. Finally, remember that there's no harm in asking. Many passengers simply don't know that they're entitled to compensation. Research by Expedia shows that nearly 70% of travelers don't file compensation claims, potentially leaving hundreds of dollars unclaimed. So next time you're faced with a delay or cancellation, take the opportunity to secure some benefits that could turn a frustrating situation into a win. Don't forget to subscribe for more travel tips and tricks to save money and make your journey more enjoyable. Chapter 4. Airline Secret Codes. To get extra legroom, airlines often don't advertise the best seats on their flights, but savvy travelers know that some seat codes can unlock extra space and comfort without the hefty price tag. If you're looking for more legroom, it's not always about booking first class. Here's a little secret. Certain seat rows are often more spacious, and with a little research, you can find them. First, let's talk about seat rows with extra legroom. Many airlines have exit rows, which typically offer more space, but they come with their own set of rules. For example, exit rows usually come with extra legroom but sometimes have a higher seat cost or specific requirements, like being able-bodied to help in an emergency. However, not all exit rows are created equal. The best ones are usually those behind the exit row, known as bulkhead seats. These seats often give you a little extra space in front of you. Another great trick is to check for preferred seating. Many airlines, like Delta and American Airlines, offer these seats for a small fee. These seats are usually located in the front of the cabin or in the exit row. However, they don't always come with additional legroom unless they are specifically labeled as such. A smart strategy is to check the seat map when booking your flight. Look for rows labeled with a plus sign or anything marked as extra legroom to ensure a more comfortable ride. For shorter flights, you might also want to consider booking an aisle seat near the front. While aisle seats in general may not have the same level of legroom as exit rows, being near the front often gives you quicker access to the restroom, allowing you to stretch your legs during the flight. A study from Seat Guru suggests that aisle seats in the front of the cabin tend to feel less cramped, especially on larger aircraft. What's even better? If you check in early enough or are flexible, you may be able to get one of these better seats without paying for the upgrade. When booking last minute or during busy travel seasons, airlines may release unsold seats at a discount. So if you're flying on a less crowded day or booking far in advance, your chances of scoring extra space increase. Chapter 5. How to score extra baggage allowance. For free, airlines are notorious for charging extra baggage fees, but there are ways to avoid these fees or even score extra baggage allowance without spending a penny. The first and easiest method? Look into your airline's frequent flyer program. Even if you're not a frequent traveler, these programs often offer perks, like an extra free checked bag, as soon as you sign up. In addition to regular members, elite status members get even more perks. A report by Airlines for America shows that frequent flyers with mid-tier status get 2 to 3 free checked bags on some airlines. If you travel often for work, consider upgrading your loyalty tier to enjoy these benefits. Many airlines also offer loyalty credit cards, which allow you to earn frequent flyer miles, and sometimes even free checked bags. But here's another little-known trick. Sometimes, you can get extra baggage allowance simply by booking a higher fare class. Booking a premium economy or business class seat can automatically grant you additional baggage allowance, sometimes up to £70. On airlines like Emirates or British Airways, booking a premium seat means you won't have to worry about additional fees for your baggage. Even if you don't want to pay for an upgrade, checking for sales or promotions can sometimes get you a better seat at a lower price. There's also the personal item rule. Most airlines allow you to carry one personal item in addition to your carry-on bag, and this can sometimes be a lifesaver. A backpack or a large purse can be used to hold smaller items, leaving more room in your carry-on for bulkier clothing or electronics. As long as your personal item fits under the seat, it doesn't count against your carry-on limit. For international flights, certain airline alliances, such as Star Alliance or SkyTeam, allow you to combine luggage allowances between different carriers. So if you're hopping between connecting flights with airlines in the same alliance, your baggage allowance may be combined, giving you extra space. Always ask the gate agent about this if you're not sure about the specific rules. Lastly, for those of you flying on long-haul flights, be aware that many international airlines offer generous baggage allowances compared to US-based carriers. For instance, airlines like Singapore Airlines or Qatar Airways typically allow 2 checked bags for economy class passengers, while US carriers may only allow 1. So if you're flying internationally, it pays to know your carrier's rules and benefits before you pack. Chapter 6. The Number Show Perk. How missing your flight can work in your favor. It sounds counterintuitive, but missing your flight may sometimes work to your advantage. This strategy relies on the no-show loophole, which many travelers don't know about. When a passenger doesn't show up for a flight, the airline is left with an empty seat, and airlines often prefer to fill those seats with other passengers, sometimes offering a seat upgrade or compensation for your inconvenience. First, the most crucial point: don't intentionally miss your flight. But if you find yourself in a situation where you've missed a connection or a flight due to a late arrival, there are times when airlines will go the extra mile to make things right. Sometimes, if you're bumped from your flight due to overbooking, you could end up getting rebooked onto a more comfortable seat, or even a flight with better perks, like a premium cabin. Airlines often overbook flights to account for no-shows, a common practice in the airline industry. But if you miss a flight or are delayed, airlines will often offer compensation to get you on the next available flight. In many cases, you'll also be entitled to a free meal voucher or even hotel accommodations for an overnight delay. A helpful tip for those traveling on international flights: some international airlines like Lufthansa and British Airways are more lenient when it comes to missed flights, as long as you make a claim at the gate. If the gate agent recognizes that you're stranded or were delayed, they might offer you a voucher or a rebooking option, potentially putting you in a more comfortable seat. One caveat: if you do miss your flight, make sure you act quickly. The sooner you inform the gate agent, the more likely you'll be able to find a solution, and potentially end up with some perks. According to a study by the Consumer Travel Alliance, nearly 1 in 10 passengers affected by delays or cancellations receive compensation from airlines. Of course, this doesn't always work in every case, but it's worth asking about compensation, especially if you're missing a flight due to airline issues. Be polite, firm, and proactive when discussing options with the airline staff, and you might just find yourself with a reward for your inconvenience. Don't forget to subscribe for more travel tips and tricks that will make your next flight smoother, cheaper, and more enjoyable.